One of the best feelings in this manifestation journey was when I had my own specific person break no contact by calling me, asking to meet up so we could reconcile. Now, I want you to experience that very same feeling as well. So in today's video, I'm helping you understand what you need to do so you can let them chase you. Because so many of you want your desires, you're doing well, but you're holding yourself back. And that's what we'll be going over in today's video. So when you end up enjoying this video, drop me a like and a comment to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. And if you want to skip the generalized content that you find on YouTube and actually have someone helping you tailor advice to your situation, down below in the comment section and the description are the links to my website where you can find my one-to-one services or the Elite Academy. Without further ado though, let's just dive right in. So I want to start with this little imagery over here and the writing underneath it. My pen is slightly running out, so please bear with me. But this says, you get what you are, not what you want. We are doing the manifestation work because we want something. But within the manifestation work is stepping into the alignment of already having it. We want it, which fuels becoming it. Because in order for us to have what we want, whether it's money, a person, a job, marriage, doesn't matter, we must internalize the stories that we already have that thing. So we are, where is it? We are the person who is married. We are the person with that job. We are the person who is debt free, and so on. So when we're stuck in this wanting mode, without becoming the person who has it internally, then we're constantly stating, I want it but don't have it, which is why the manifestation work is laid out in a way to show your subconscious mind, I want it, therefore I have it. These affirmations claim that I have it, or claim that I am it, or whatever it is that you're affirming for. These visualizations claim that I have it, or that I am it, or whatever you're visualizing for, and so on. So that's why this little diagram comes in, because in every connection, be it your connection with money, be it your connection with your friends or family, specific person, your manager, whatever, there is a push and pull dynamic. There is a chaser and a chase. This universe works in balance. So if there is a chaser and a chased, the balance is perfect. You've got one running away and one running toward it, sort of thing. I'm accentuating chaser and chase for my point. Obviously, it's not going to be the case that your person is running away from you or that you're running from your person. It's just to help accentuate this kind of push or pull dynamic. But on the flip side, you can't have two chasers. You can't have two runawayers and have a healthy, consistent, smooth dynamic, you know? So what we're aiming to do is get ourselves out of any potential wanting them to chase, but still being the chaser kind of dynamic, and into you allowing them to chase by sitting and being the chased. You get what you are, not what you want. You want them to chase, but you are the person who is still putting all of the work in the 3D and in the desperation and so on, which I'll break down a little bit more in a second, that shows that you are the chaser. You want them to chase you, but you're still being the person who is pursuing them in a chaser manner. Now, I specify in a chaser manner because pursuing them is obviously doing this work, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with the pursuit itself, as long as we are abiding by the laws of manifestation, how the subconscious mind works. So this is you. Usually I make you bald, but today I put some effort into doing a little bit of hair, probably why the pen's running out. This is you. You still want them, or you do want them. And let me give you a little example in the real world of where this kind of thing might happen. You want them to chase you. You want them to be the one to check your stories, to check your socials, to message, to show up at your house with flowers and all that good stuff. But every opportunity that you get, you're checking to see their follower count go up. You're checking to see if they've read your message. You're talking to friends about them in hopes that that friend can go and talk to them for you. Or you're doing some form of thing that shows I am offset by what is. I'm trying to make things move along. in the 3D, or I'm trying to get evidence of things moving along in the 3D. You have sort of stepped down from your throne as the king or queen of your reality to go and see what is happening in the stables. If you've been on my channel for long enough, you'll know that there's like a royalty and stable boy, girl, that analogy that I speak about. But anyway, you're sort of stepping down from your throne to then go and check what's going on in the stables, and that isn't the behavior of royalty. Royalty goes and the stable boy comes running, for example. So what we want to do is actually get it to a point where you can do that. You can sit calm, relaxed, click your fingers, and your reality shifts. Because your subconscious mind is the creative power of your reality. If it needs the stable boy to come running with the right stories, it will make the stable boy come running. You don't need to go pursuing from a chaser perspective. You don't need to go and see if their follower count has gone up. You don't need to go see if there's evidence of things moving, because if you sit still, calm, relaxed, and you're focusing on, this obviously says but being the version of you who has it, reality moves everything around you to make it happen. And if you are the one that needs to move, your subconscious mind will make it happen through inspired action, and you won't even second guess it. And in those kind of instances, then it's fine to put some action in. But that's very, very different from, let me see if they've checked my story. Let me see if they've liked my messages. Let me see if they've done this stuff, because that's all egoic, fear-based. Why is it not moving? Let me see what's going on. Whereas inspired action is your subconscious mind moving the horse to checkmate the king. Chess analogy for playing the bigger game. So what we want to do for you is get you out of this, I want them to chase, but I'm going to still doing chasing behaviors sort of dynamic. And as you can see, I tried to show the magnets repelling, into this, I want them to chase, so I'm going to be the version of me who allows them to chase, which is why these magnets come together perfectly fine. You cannot put two, I mean, you can if you brute force them, but just for the analogy, you can't put two opposing magnets together because they will repel. And the very second that you stop putting that force in, boing, they repel each other. So, going back to this little image that I've drawn up a few times, you've got this person turning away from their desire, and that very thing is magnetizing them because they're not showing their lack of it. When you're in a state of need, need breeds lack. Lack breeds not having in this physical reality, which breeds a greater state of need. You honestly will have more success from anything, money, person, house, whatever it is, by being willing to turn away from your desire from a what your pursuit looks like perspective. What I mean by that is, if you can sit still and just chill and go inside and say, yep, you know what? She's showing up for me. He's showing up for me. Money is flowing to me. Everything I do works in my favor. And you could just relax. That will get you your desire far more consistently, quickly, and enjoyably than you constantly running at it with your hands out like some dumb zombie sort of thing. So what I want you to do from this moment forward, sort of practical advice for you to take on, is I want you to look at the behaviors. We're going to be doing this from like a physical and a mental perspective. I want you to look at the behaviors you are engaging in that keeps you stuck in a chaser position. This could be checking to see if they've messaged you. This could be checking to see if they've liked your story. This could be messaging them multiple times. This could be anything at all where you are going, let's see what's happening. Or if I do this, will this happen? And things like that. And instead of doing those things, every time you notice yourself in doing it, instead of doing that, you are going to go inward and see the result that you would like to see already happening. Because what we're doing by doing this, and I will explain what I mean by that, what you're doing at the moment is this is your little pattern. You want evidence, so you check for evidence. That checking for evidence puts you in a state of, I don't have it, which creates more of a want for it. And you loop like this, and your subconscious mind is just hearing, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. I'm the chaser, I'm the chaser, I'm the chaser, I'm the chaser. What we want you to be doing is at this point where you want to check if there's any kind of movement, you're going over to this little pattern here by not engaging in it, but instead seeing it internally exactly as you want it to be. Because what that's going to do is, instead of checking the 3D reality and potentially being disappointed, but additionally fueling the fire that you need in order to keep checking the reality, which is what we don't want, you're going inward and you're providing the result that you want, which is going to help create the result that you want. And you're also showing yourself how to trust in your own inner world by claiming that is there what you want it to be. So what this could look like is, let's take checking to see if they've read your message, for example. You feel the urge to check to see if they've read your message. You understand that you've not received the bloody notification yet. So chances are they haven't received it. Or if you keep your notifications silent so you don't, I don't know, for whatever reason you'd be doing that, you just haven't been on WhatsApp yet to see that there's a text, just for example. But let's just take the notification perspective. You haven't received the notification yet. So checking only further accentuates that you don't have what you want. And why are you checking? Why are you checking to see if they've messaged you when you haven't received a notification? What benefit would that have? So instead, what you do is you notice if I check, I'm just going to have physical evidence that I can see with my eyes that there is no message. Maybe there's 2 blue ticks to show that they've actually read it and left you on read, which is only going to make it more difficult for you to stay in that chased position, because you're going to feel the need to explain yourself, double text, panic, wonder what you've done wrong. So instead, you go inward and you check that message on your phone in your imagination and see them speaking sweet nothings to you. And then you decide to dwell in that until you feel the satisfaction that it's done in that moment. Because what that's going to do, not only is that showing your subconscious mind the better story, which is going to help you in the long run, it's breaking that cycle, as you can see here, of going, I want to check, oh my God, I've checked and now I feel worse. Oh, I want to check again, oh, now I checked and I feel worse. And he goes, I want to check here. I can see the evidence. I can see the result. I can see all of this good stuff. And then you move on. Because that's going to show your subconscious mind the story that that person is messaging you, speaking absolute sweet nothings to you, or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, because these principles can work for money, jobs, and so on as well. But for the purposes of letting your specific person chase you, you've stopped your chasing behavior by checking to see if they've read it despite not having a notification. And then you've claimed, I sit still, I get what I want, here's the evidence of them messaging me all of those sweet nothings, which is going to help your subconscious mind take that in. And now you are no longer chasing, because you've not done the chasing behavior, and you've gone inward and seen them chase you. So you now are the person who is being chased, which then gets you the results of being chased. And with your notifications put on, you will simply just get the notification when it is time. There isn't really any benefit to ever checking anything if you will just get the result along the way. For example, I'll give you another example to show what I mean. It would be fruitless for me to affirm I have a huge surge of new clients and then constantly check my emails to see if I've got new clients, because I get notifications on my phone when someone sends me an email. So I can just get on with my day and see when I check my phone at whatever time, there's an email there from a new client. And if I don't see that email there and I feel the need to check, then I do this. Instead of checking my emails, because I know I haven't received the message, therefore there would be no point to it, I then go inward and see that client coming in. So this is the actions that you're going to want to take, or at least like the way that you want to deal with the bad behaviors of your chasing perspective, is notice what kind of behaviors you engage in that are chasing behaviors and cut them out, and instead see what you want to see. If you want to check to see if they've still got you as their profile picture, I remember the day that my first proper girlfriend took me out of her profile photo, stung like a bitch, and I can assure you I would much rather, especially considering I know that manifestation will create a result, I'd much rather just go inward and see that bloody photo there and actually impressed that it stays there on my subconscious mind, thus making it stay there. As opposed to panicking, thinking about it, thinking about seeing it not there, because that's what you're checking for. You're checking to see if it's changed, which means you're creating the expectation that it's going to change. Or you're checking to see if they've read your message, but you know you've not received the notification. So you're checking with the expectation to have been left on read. Don't then be surprised when you're left on read or when your photo changes. But you're just hurting yourself more. And you're just hurting your manifestation more, because now you have to overcome that as well, which can be done. It's more just giving you more things to have to deal with, which we don't want to do. A person who is chased sits there and does the bare bloody minimum and lets reality bend around them. So instead of seeing them changing that profile photo physically, because you know that manifestation works and because you know you can get what you want, why tempt the 3D to change by checking from fear or lack when you could just go inward instead and see exactly what you want to see and get exactly what you want in the physical reality? So that's the first thing. Get an idea of what kind of behaviors you engage in that are not helpful for your manifestation process. And then whenever you find yourself going to engage in them, stop for a moment, understand that it's not going to help you in the long run, and understand that what will help you in the long run is residing within the end result. And for the purposes of this, I recommend giving yourself a direct counterpart to that thing. Usually I'd recommend going to the end result, because that's what will create the end result. But to just give your mind that little satisfaction in the moment, if you want to check to see if they've read your message, just visualize or affirm that they've given you that message. If you want to check to see if you're still on their profile photo, just visualize or affirm, or some other technique that you're still that photo. Because this will kind of give your mind something to chew on in that moment. It will feel satisfaction in that moment. It will create this new cycle, making it easier for your proactive times of living in the end to actually be effective. So that is the first thing. That's the behaviors, because I think, and I've mentioned this on quite a few occasions, I think most of you have the right routines and creative processes. You just suck at stopping the negative from taking over. And I say that with love. I say that as someone who was there as well. By dealing with it better in the negative when it comes up, you will have better successes. A little thing that I like to remind you of is it's easy to talk the talk, do manifestation work when things are good, but it's walking the walk that is so important. Because if you do 20 minutes of affirming daily, because you do some in the morning and night, but then you spend the whole day, or at least a huge chunk of it, just going, is there a result? Have I got a result? Why have I been left on red? Why won't they message me? Your consciousness is just that of not having. And then you become the chaser. So that's the first thing. That's like the sort of actions, that's the behaviors. The next thing is pretty straightforward, and that, of course, is just consciousness. What I urge you to do is just look at the situation from a very abundant, loving, happy, healthy, being chased perspective. For example, if you want them to pursue you, why not tailor a little bit of your affirmations toward that? Sometimes I hear things like, I want to be chased by a person, so I've been affirming that we're in communication, which is nothing inherently wrong with that. But if you want to be chased by them and you're the creative power of your reality, why not actually just specify that? I'm in loving, consistent communication with Darren, initiated by him, for example. I accept only the best in this relationship, and Stacy does everything she can to provide that. Like, tailor your affirmations a little bit, or whatever technique you're doing, to actually receiving the kinds of treatment that you want from them. Communication initiated by Darren. Stacey's doing all she can to make me feel loved in this relationship. And actually show to your subconscious mind them doing the things that you want them to do, them chasing. And come at it from a love and abundance space, an unconditional love space. Many people want their person to do all of the chasing and pursuing and all of that work from some form of like validation space. Not all, absolutely not all. But I think we can all be in agreement that at least at one point or another in our own journeys, we've wanted them to text so we can feel good, so we can see that they're still interested, so that we can feel validated, so that we don't feel like we're not good enough and things like that. I recommend coming from this work more from a case of, this is my person. I don't want the text so that I can feel better about myself. I want the text so that we can communicate and be loving together. I don't want this relationship because I'm scared of them being with someone else. I want this relationship because we're genuinely the best people for each other, and things like that. So if you want to be a chaste person, come at all the work you are doing from unconditional love. Do not come at it from the perspective of, if I do this, I'll get what I want and things like that. Come at it from the perspective of, I genuinely enjoy visualizing a text from my specific person. I genuinely enjoy the idea of being in this relationship with this specific person, and come from an unconditional love state of mind. Because when you come from unconditional love, it is physically impossible to step into a chaser role, because you're doing it without condition, which means you are not doing it to get some form of result. You are doing it from a genuine place within your own self. And that will actually allow things to come to you tenfold. And let me give you a little sort of, I would say maybe anecdote, but I think it happens so much that we can all agree that this is just simply a fact of life. If doing things from a position of condition was the way to get reciprocation, people pleasers and nice guys would sit at the absolute top of living the best of lives. But if we're objectively speaking, and you may have been a people pleaser in your own life as well, I know I definitely have, when you are a people pleaser, you actually get the least. I think we can all agree that, right? We give and we give and we give and we give and we give, and people will just take and take and take and take and take, and they never reciprocate, or very rarely do they reciprocate. And if they do reciprocate, they often do so under this basis of, well, I did this for you, so yeah, you should continue to people please for me. But the people that are willing to do things from an unconditional perspective have everything. And it's because doing stuff out of uncondition is the biggest state of abundance that you could possibly have, because it's showing that not only are you in excess of this thing, you are the person who has loads of it, so you get more, you're also showing a willingness to give away. And if you've got that willingness to give away, the excess is shown, but also that state of abundance is there as well, internally. Unconditional love, you're not putting some form of condition on it. So I say that to say, in this journey, when manifesting, come from a position of unconditional love. Do the things that you are doing because you genuinely desire them, because you genuinely enjoy doing them. Do the things that you are doing because it makes you feel good internally. And if a result comes, even better. Because what that's going to do is it's going to guarantee the result comes. I know it's backward. I know it sounds goofy to think that the more you do physically in this reality, and the more that you're trying to get a result, the less you'll get. And the less you try, and the more you just exist in the right state, the more you will get. But trust me, there's a reason that the coaches that you see on YouTube all talk the same sort of way in one form or another, being love yourself as hard as you bloody can, reside in the end result as consistently as possible, and let that person chase you. If not for anything, just for your own sake, to show that you can do this. But this is what I recommend you do. Obviously, cut out the bad chasing behaviors, continue your manifestation processes, but come from a position of unconditional love. Be willing to give, be willing to be okay without, because that's actually going to make them come. Now, I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm not saying that you have to be okay without, but if you want the fastest result possible, being okay without, but choosing to have internally, takes the cake as far as the fastest way to manifest, because it's the ultimate form of detachment while still being the ultimate form of persistence. And if you would like a full video on that topic of how to detach while persisting, I'll put it on the end card for you to check out. But for now, thank you very much for being here with me. I hope this video has helped. If it has, drop me a like and a comment to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. And if you need any of my help on a one-to-one basis to help you overcome the generalized content that you'll find on YouTube and actually tailor a plan to your situation and your needs, I have one-to-one services available, but I also have the Elite Academy where you can get some one-to-one services, as well as all of my courses and much, much more. Both of those things are linked down below in the comment section and the description. But for now, thank you very much for being here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.